Unless, of course, you want to go back to talking about computers again. Okay. Listed in your book, there's a sheet that will list what we're going to be covering for the next several hours together. On that sheet are the following objectives. One is to identify and understand key elements of the negotiation process. The second is to practice and sharpen preparation, analytic, and interpersonal skills. And the third is to apply the techniques that we're going to be learning to rate how problem sales situations. So first, I'm going to go through some of the basics. We're going to give you some experience with those, and then we're going to take you back and apply it to specific situations that some of your folks have given me in terms of ways in which this would apply to the kinds of sales situations that we come up with on a regular basis. Now, those are what I'm planning to cover, but you're here for a reason too. So I'm curious to know, what's important to you about negotiation? What is it that you want to hear? What is it that you want to know? Yeah.
When is the customer process bluffing or lying?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Creative techniques, some of the things other experiences.
Creative techniques. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the rest of it.
Yeah, from other experiences, either from you or in the crowd.
Okay. Anything else? Yeah.
When it is unfavorable to continue to pursue, I mean, to the point where she can say, "Hey, you asked too much."
When to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? So if I cover these in these, you'll be happy. Yeah?
How to win.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
How to win.
How to win. Okay. Anything else? Yeah.
How to be tactful.
How to be tactful. Yeah.
Maybe this falls under being tactful with ending up so that both sides are conveying that sense of both satisfactory conclusion.
Always leave them feeling like they got a good deal, regardless of how you feel about it. Okay? There is no cheaper concession than to say, no one's ever done so well with me before. So regardless of what you think, always leave them feeling like they've got a good deal. Okay, we're going to hang these up. I've got a lot that I can say about each of these. If I don't say enough to cover it to your satisfaction, you call me in, okay? Bring it up again and I'll be glad to, because I want to make sure I covered what you want to know. So if it isn't enough, you let me know, we'll hang it up, and we'll go back to it before we're finished today. Okay, let me just say a couple of other things. Negotiation is not a spectator sport. The key to improving negotiation skills, all of you have had life experiences as negotiators. You're not coming to this cold. What we're going to do is we're going to build on your experiences as negotiators and problem solvers using some simulations and case studies. People tend to remember 20% of what they hear, 50% of what they see, and 80% of what they do. And since my goal in any program that I do is to get people to use the stuff that I'm talking about, you'll be doing some doing today. Plus, it's a whole lot more fun. I have to tell you, in 12 years of teaching negotiation, I always have these things at the end, these evaluation things, and there's always some question that says something like, what was the best part of the presentation? And in 12 years of doing this, no one has ever said, Marcia said this and it was brilliant. It changed my life. Never once. Instead, what's true is what people tend to remember are the lessons that they teach themselves. And finally, what's important here is not to take it all down and remember it perfectly, quite frankly. What's important is for you to develop your own operating principles, simple principles that you can use to guide your own negotiation. So that's what we're going for here. Rather than perfect recall, for you to develop your own operating principles that can guide your own negotiations. In terms of keys to increasing negotiating success, effective negotiators are purposeful, not reactive, which means that they're also prepared. It's much easier to be purposeful when you set your goals and objectives in advance. You've done your homework and you know what you're going for. They're explicit about process as well as substance. In any negotiation, there are two things that need to be negotiated. One is the substance of the negotiation, whatever it might be. And the other is the process, how we're going to get there. And so we're going to spend a fair amount of time today talking about structuring that process. And finally, at the core of every negotiation is how shared, differing, and conflicting interests are managed as a joint problem, because it is a joint problem. And how that joint problem gets solved dictates how the negotiation goes. The overall objective is to increase the likelihood that you'll be successful in the negotiations that you undertake. Now, turn this off for that. If I were to ask you, and I am, what is negotiation? Let's see if we can come up with a good definition. So what is negotiation? We ought to know what it is that we're talking about, right? So, what is negotiation? Yeah.
Two opposite parties giving up certain aspects to obtain one goal.
Each giving something up.
Giving something up.
Okay. Anything else? Yeah.
Finding common ground between two opposing points of view.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Me?
Wilton, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Two parties working toward a common solution.
Anything else? Yeah.
I was just going to say a way of getting what you want.
A way of getting what you want. Okay. Anything else? Is this covered? Okay. We negotiate because we have to, not because we want to. If I were able to get what I wanted without you, I would probably do that. What that means is that both of us have to walk away from the table feeling like we've got something. It doesn't have to be the same thing. I may not even think you got a good deal. What's important is that you think you got a good deal. Because both of us have to walk away feeling like we got something from the negotiation in order for it to be worthwhile for us to have participated. Here are two more to think about. One is the use of information and power to affect behavior. And the other one is negotiation includes any instance in which two or more people are communicating, each with the purpose of influencing the other's behavior. The second definition comes from a book called Getting to Yes. I don't know, have any of you seen it? Read it? Okay. It's over here if you want to take a look. We'll be talking about some of the principles in Getting to Yes. We'll also be talking about some of the principles from a book called The Manager as Negotiator that's taking the Getting to Yes principles several steps further. When it came out, it was somewhat revolutionary in that it provided a whole different context for negotiating than people had considered before. Okay. What?
Are we gonna
Oh, sorry. Here. How's that? There are two different models for negotiation. One is distributive, which basically assumes that it's a zero-sum game or a